Right now at 10:21 seconds, a special session goes nowhere in Madison, leaving parties at odds over how to solve the child care industry crisis. And Biden's climate core. The president takes a leaf out of a 1930s playbook to try and inspire eco-friendly job training. Plus, tasting knowledge. Viking elementary students get a hands-on session in agriculture thanks to a project years in the making.
Watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 10. I'm Ken Kozorowski. The Chippewa County Sheriff says an investigation against him is tossing due process out the window. The Leader-Telegram reports Chippewa County administration is investigating allegations a county employee has made against Sheriff Travis Hakes. The county DA's office confirms they're reviewing a formal complaint the county has submitted about Hakes, but declined to offer the nature of the allegations. Now, Tuesday, the board said it's writing a letter to Hakes to express disapproval of his alleged behavior, and that the board will meet again October 10th to discuss authorizing charges and pursuing the sheriff's removal. Now, Hakes took to his Facebook today, saying he learned about the development from media reports and not the board itself. He claims some administration members are, quote, unhappy with the fact I have a constitutional duty to independently act in the best interests of Chippewa County residents rather than cater to their whims. He goes on to say he will fight removal efforts with every ounce of his being, and he's unaware of a formal complaint ever being filed against him. News 8 Now reached out to the sheriff, the county board chair, and the county administrator, and we are awaiting responses. 21 seconds. That was the length of Wisconsin's special legislative session on child care. Governor Evers back in the summer called for this session to call for a major spending package to continue a pandemic-era child care subsidy program. His entire proposal called for about $1 billion in spending, with more than $300 million of that to continue the program known as Child Care Counts. Assembly Majority Leader Tyler August accuses the governor of playing politics instead of working with the legislature. Now, before today's session, late last week in fact, Assembly Republicans passed several bills that loosen child care industry regulations. But Democrats argue that if those pass the Senate and the governor were to approve them, those won't solve the real problem in the industry. A new report says child care in Wisconsin costs more than putting a kid through college. And it's high operation costs that cause child care centers to have high tuition. The only child care center in Cashton had to close this year after facing staffing and funding issues. And research from the Century Foundation finds that over 2,000 more child care programs in the state will close if more investments are not made. And that could exacerbate the issue of child care deserts that already plague rural western Wisconsin. State Senator Brad Pfaff says he has talked to parents who drive over 20 miles to reach their kids' child care center, and he was disappointed in today's session.
The majority party decided to gavel in and gavel out, and in 21 seconds, they decided that it wasn't worth their time in order to have this very important policy debate. And sadly, our working families lose, and the children of our state lose.
Now, earlier this evening, state Democrats introduced new legislation to fund child care counts. But with Republicans having a majority in the Senate and Assembly, it is likely that legislation won't go anywhere. But there is still another avenue that could fund the child care counts program. U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin in Wisconsin has joined with 100 co-sponsors in Congress to introduce the Child Care Stabilization Act. This legislation would renew funding for an ARPA program called the Child Care Stabilization Grant Program. Wisconsin used its share of the money to set up child care counts. As of now, the funds from the ARPA grant program are set to expire at the end of the month. But if this federal legislation goes through and the program is renewed, the state could save child care counts. Senator Baldwin says Congress needs to do their part to help families access child care.
We need to have a partnership and step up and act alongside the private sector and the state in order to address this child care crisis.
If the Stabilization Act is passed, the federal government would provide $16 billion in mandatory funding each year for the next 5 years to address child care issues. Senator Baldwin also has eyes on some sports legislation these days. She has reintroduced a bill to make sure all Wisconsinites can enjoy the Packers on TV. That's currently not the reality. In Wisconsin, more than 415,000 people live in counties that have been assigned to an out-of-state market. So take this weekend's NFL broadcast schedule. Everyone in blue will get access to the Saints-Packers game on Sunday. But the green bits, and touching into northwest Wisconsin, as you see there, they're going to have the Vikings game instead. Now, if Baldwin's bill passes, it would require cable and satellite providers to give their Wisconsin subscribers access to channels in Wisconsin markets. If it doesn't pass, Baldwin calls for the NFL commissioner to avoid schedules that have Packer games overlapping with games from the Vikings and Detroit Lions. All right, with that in mind, let's bring in First Warn meteorologist Bill Grahl for a check of our Coulee region forecast. Bill, we have a lot of summer temperatures, but unfortunately, Bill's remote setup just failed, and I think this is the first time since we had this setup where we can't get Bill online in that moment. We are working to get Bill back on track, but in the meantime, let's proceed with the news. We'll get to your first forecast in just a bit. As e-cigarette sales rise in the U.S., the rate of child nicotine poisoning hitting an all-time high. Reported child nicotine poisoning rose by 32% between April of 2022 and March of this year. That's according to the CDC. Experts say the poisonings usually happen after a child gets a hold of an e-cigarette device and consumes the nicotine-containing liquid inside. A pediatric allergist at Gunderson Health System says adults with children in the house should consider the risks involved with e-cigs.
And the message to anybody who's using these devices is, A, you should consider quitting yourself. They're not good for you, okay? There's nothing good about any of these devices. But B, think about the unintended consequences of you having it in a home with a young child.
Child nicotine poisoning symptoms typically include dizziness, tremors, elevated heart rate, and vomiting. If you want to quit using tobacco and need some help, Gunderson does offer programs to help you get started. We'll have those links on all of our platforms. This month is Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month, and for Gunderson's head of ovarian cancer research, the inspiration behind her work actually started years ago. Michael Germain has the story.
I've lost both of my parents to cancer, and I lost my mother at a very young age. And so I think, and they were both healthcare providers.
Which initially attracted Dahl to make a difference in the community.
And being involved in women's health is very important to me. And like I said, being an advocate, I have 2 daughters of my own. And, I want them to be strong women and for them to fight for their health.
Dahl's mother was treated at Gunderson for a brain tumor, along with her grandparents who also had cancer.
When I got the job opportunity to come back to here, it was a really cool thing to be like, that I can give back to the organization that ultimately helped my family.
For the past 20 years, Dahl's research has been on understanding ovarian cancer.
Do a lot of things what we call in cell culture dishes. So we have human tumor cells that are growing in the lab where I treat them with different chemotherapies, I treat them with different drugs, or I look at the different genes in them.
Ovarian cancer is the 5th leading cause of cancer deaths in women because it is detected at a very late stage. Although chemotherapy is effective in killing cancer cells, oftentimes those cells come back.
Cells that survive, really tiny cells that we can't see survive, and they grow back, and this leads to what we call relapse.
According to Dahl, when these patients relapse, they often don't respond well to subsequent therapy.
That's been one of the major issues I wanted to tackle, is how do we get women to respond better to the therapies so that we can find new ways to attack those cancer cells for better long-term survival.
With no screenings or testing in place for ovarian cancer, it creates an emphasis for women to take charge of their own health.
Most women, when they're diagnosed with ovarian cancer, the disease has spread throughout the peritoneal cavity, throughout the belly, and this leads to really poor survival rates.
According to the CDC, in 2020, the adjusted rate for ovarian cancer in Wisconsin was 9.4 per 100,000 women. Still ahead tonight, fresh educational perspective. The La Crosse School District offering new classes to offer a window into the wide possibilities of the ag industry.
Get 50% off lists during the Big Fall Home Sale at Slumberland Furniture and one of our best finance sales of the year. Pay no interest for 3 years. Get this stylish sectional for just $7.99, up to 50% off, only at Slumberland Furniture.
At Taco John's, we never judge a book by its cover. But if the cover is a one-of-a-kind flatbread coated in aged cheddar, crispy shredded potatoes, and our signature potato Olay seasoning, we say, judge the shell out of it. New Cheddar Crunch Tacos, only at Taco John's.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series trucks to help save the day. Stretch the weekend, haul, or tow just about anything, anywhere. That's because they're built Ford tough. And it's why Ford F-Series are America's best-selling trucks 46 years straight. And for that, we thank you. Now get a new 2023 Ford F-150 with 3.9% financing for 60 months, plus up to $3,500 in total savings. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
To all you so-called drive-through contenders out there, Taco John's is coming for the breakfast belt. With the boldest, cheesiest, baconiest, potato Olay-iest breakfast burritos ever, we're not pulling any punches. The new breakfast champ is here. Try a bigger, bolder breakfast at Taco John's.
Get 50% off lists during the Big Fall Mattress Sale at Slumberland. Incredible deals like a twin mattress for just $99, or our own private brand Slumbercrest as low as $299, plus Sealy Posturepedic mattresses marked way down, only at Slumberland.
Welcome back to News 8 Now at 10. Logan and Central High School students have a new chance to learn about a major industry. This year, students are able to take agriculture classes. These classes give students an overview on the world of agriculture and career pathways they could take. Randy Romansky is the Wisconsin Secretary of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection. Today, he paid a visit to the schools to celebrate National Teach Agriculture Day. He says classes like these are important because it shows students that they don't have to be a farmer to go into the ag industry.
The fact that it's really important that we connect the dots like that, that we make sure people understand that, you know, if you like science, agriculture could be the field that you're interested in. You think about soil science, you think about people working in a lab. That's all related to food and agriculture.
The district's ag classes are available to all high school students at both Central and Logan. 4 years ago, Viking Elementary students planted 80 Honeycrisp apple trees. Now, those same students get to enjoy the literal fruits of their labor. This apple orchard has been an education resource since before the trees were planted. Students from the high school agriculture program actually helped build and install some deer fences around the orchard. One Holman School District employee says this harvest is a way to show the younger students the importance of farming and agriculture.
But more than that, it's really about getting our kids involved in our farm school program, knowing where their food comes from and how it grows. And it's really the complete education cycle that we're providing. All these apples that they're going to pick today will end up in our lunch program for the next several weeks.
Sounds like a delicious lesson plan. Now, since the trees are still young, Gasper is hoping to get about 30 cases from this harvest. And he says that as the trees get older, naturally, the crop size will continue to grow. Still to come tonight, executive action on climate change. President Biden is launching a training program to hire young adults who want to think green. And of course, we'll get Bill Grahl back on the horn for your full weather forecast later tonight.
With Vygoff & Rohde, you don't just get a lawyer. You get the experience and power of our entire team of lawyers, paralegals, legal assistants, and researchers. Vygoff & Rohde, your personal injury law firm for over 50 years.
For over 30 years, Habitat for Humanity of the Greater La Crosse region has brought people together to provide affordable housing opportunities and create a community where all feel they belong. Our Team Habitat experts can help find a path to home ownership, build homes, make critical repairs, renew the environment, and reuse furniture, building materials, and more at the Restore. Find out what Team Habitat can do for you. Visit habitatlacrosse.org.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series trucks to help save the day. Stretch the weekend, haul, or tow just about anything, anywhere. That's because they're built Ford tough. And it's why Ford F-Series are America's best-selling trucks 46 years straight. And for that, we thank you. Now get a new 2023 Ford F-150 with 3.9% financing for 60 months, plus up to $3,500 in total savings. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Darling, I believe everything's gonna be alright. No need to worry because you got somebody on your side. matter where you're at, we got your back. We got your back.
With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for.
We got your back.
Southern fried food legends include Hush Puppies, fish, and fries. So Arby's made a $5 Hush Puppy breaded fish basket. A legend made a legend of legends. Arby's, we have the meat.
Birthdays are something to celebrate, and our News 8 This Morning team highlight them every day. If someone you know is turning 8 or 88, submit a picture of them at news8000.com today. Look Who's 8, brought to you locally by Pediatric Dentistry of Onalaska. Little teeth, big smiles.
I won't write your will.
I don't write contracts.
I won't handle your divorce.
I do know a few things about personal injury law.
All I do is help injured people get the compensation they deserve.
At Bygoff and Rohde, that's how we get results.
The Board Store, the best products, best prices, and best people for all home improvements. Contact us today for a prompt free estimate. You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Welcome back to News 8 Now at 10. President Biden is using his executive authority to create an American Climate Corps. It'll serve as a major green jobs training program. The White House says this program will employ more than 20,000 young adults. They'll build trails, plant trees, and help install solar panels. They'll also do other work to boost conservation and help prevent catastrophic wildfires. The program, modeled after part of Franklin Delano Roosevelt's New Deal from the 1930s. The warm, dry weather we have had quietly having a big impact on a fall tradition. Experts say the changing climate has an impact on our changing leaves. The warm weather and lack of rain this year could ultimately push back peak season. Adam Duxter discovered the peak could now fall on a pretty popular Minnesota weekend.
Sunshine.
It's a gorgeous day to go hiking, walking, come back and read my book.
And weather that will leave you questioning your calendar.
Feels like summer. It still feels like summer. We're going to hit 85 today.
It's all taking a toll at Afton State Park.
I think we have to either redefine normal or you use a different word.
DNR naturalist Linda Rademicki says it starts with brush, whose fall colors
It just dried out. This is what it usually looks like most of the winter now.
have already fallen.
It was blue color for a week only, and it should be a month.
We're going to see some color, but not all leaves are going to change at once.
Climatologist Pete Boulay says our climate is having the opposite effect on trees.
Some trees are driven by temperature, some are driven by light. So obviously we haven't had cold temperatures, so fall color might be delayed for some trees this fall.
And when it comes to when these trees will peak in color, Rademicki says she's got her eyes glued to the calendar because right now, all signs point towards October 19th, which is the weekend of MEA here in the state of Minnesota, which could lead to a very busy weekend here at the park. As unpredictable.
I have no doubt that fall and winter will come, just who knows when exactly.
As the rest of 2023.
But it's also Minnesota. That's part of the drill here is sometimes we're in jean jackets now and sometimes we're in shorts and t-shirts.
That's Midwest living. Boulay says since the beginning of April, they're down about 11 inches of rain. And he says even with potential storms this weekend, it could take over an inch of rain to put us where they should be this month alone. Now, this would normally be the time where we bring in our First Warn meteorologist Bill Grahl for a check of the Coulee region forecast, see what rain chances there are forthcoming, but we are trying to get him back online with some technical glitches. Rest assured, we are working very quickly to try and get Bill back online for your full 8-day forecast. But until then, coming up next in sports, the Twins trying to get closer to a division title. Plus, Westby football perfect through 5 weeks of the season. But the Norsemen are gearing up for their biggest test of the year this Friday night. Rob's got a full preview and much more next.
You live a life on demand. Movies, shows, and more. Your local news, weather, and sports shouldn't be different. The 8000 Plus app is the free streaming option, giving you everything local on your time. If you have one of these, you can get this.
Dear Sharp Curves, Toyota has more all-wheel drive sedans than any other brand. We got traction, baby.
Get 3.99% APR for 48 months on many of Toyota's most popular models.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Save 11% on all roof coatings at Menards. Sealbest White Elastomeric Roof Coating has a 10-year warranty, restores your roof, and stops leaks. It's easy to apply. Just brush, roll, or spray. Get a pail for just $79.99 after rebate. We've got the adhesives you can rely on. Loctite Power Grab adhesive is high strength and reduces the need for clamping with 0-second instant grab. Right now, it's only $2.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
We saw a need and an opportunity within our community to help people purchase their first home. With Thriven's financial guidance, it helped me to start a company to help people build generational wealth through home ownership. I never would have been able to achieve the financial goals that I wanted and been able to help people the way that I have without my financial advisor from Thriven.
Come shop at Black River Furniture and Cabin Outlet. 3 showrooms with over 50,000 square feet of home and cabin furniture. Recliners and lift chairs, mattresses, dining room, sectional sofas, and love seats. Our cabin furniture features made in the USA Amish rustic furniture with an up-north feel, all handcrafted with real wood. Great prices with affordable delivery or take it home today. Family and veteran owned, over 25 years in business. Black River Furniture Outlet, Black River Falls.
Dear 2030, can't wait to see you. With our 160-point inspection, the best new cars make the best used cars. It's a date, Toyota. Find yours at toyotacertified.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now's Rob Schiff.
One of the most anticipated high school football games of the year takes place this Friday in Westby. The Norsemen find themselves atop the Cooley Conference. They're a perfect 5-0. They'll get a chance to truly prove it in Week 6. More than halfway through the season, the Norsemen have looked pretty convincing so far. They're averaging over 44 points a game. They're beating teams by more than 31 points per contest. But Friday night will be the true test. Westby clearly looks like the best team so far in the conference, but the defending back-to-back state champion Blue Golds stand in their way. Aquinas won big on its home field last season. Now the Norsemen will look to return the favor.
Knowing it's going to be a tough match. I mean, Aquinas has athletes on both sides of the ball. We have athletes on both sides of the ball. It's just who's going to be more physical. You just got to keep going no matter what. If they hit you in the mouth, you got to hit them back the next play. Can't give up. You just got to give it your all.
The Norsemen have been giving it their all season. We'll see if that continues Friday night in Westby. Blue Golds and Norsemen in what should be a phenomenal matchup. That's just one of the games we're looking forward to on the Frenzy. Must-see matchups all over the Cooley region on Friday night. Of course, the big one in Bangor, undefeated Eagles, undefeated Cardinals renewing their rivalry. In the Dairyland, Pepin Alma will look to keep its perfect record intact as the Eagles take on Blair Taylor. We've also got some great action in the MVC. Central's at home hosting Toma. Sparta hits the road to take on Holman. Make sure to tune in 10 p.m. for the Friday Night Frenzy. Well, last season, the UWL volleyball team managed to win just 13 games. Fast forward to this season, the Eagles already have 11 wins in their first 14 matches. And tonight, lacrosse was back at home opening conference play. Let's go to Mitchell Hall. Eagles at home taking on UW Platteville. Pioneers pouring it on early. Claudia Johnson slams this one home. Platteville goes up 3. Eagles clawing back, though, later in the first. Grace Nomensen sets up Reese Yoakum for the kill, but the Pioneers pull away. Nice soft touch here from Cameron Johnson. She drops one in. Platteville takes the first set. Second set, UWL fighting back. Brianne Corducci goes up high for the kill. Eagles hanging in, but the Pioneers just too tough in this one. Lacrosse drops its conference opener. Eagles come up short in 4 sets against Platteville. On the pitch at UWL, the 12th-ranked Eagles, they continue to soar. What a start for lacrosse. The Eagles kicking off conference play tonight at home against Wartburg. The home team keeping that perfect record intact. UWL gets the win 2-0 the final. Eagles improve to 7-0 on the season. They match their best start since 1999. Brewers getting closer to locking up the NL Central, and this is a name we haven't said too often. Josh Donaldson, 2 on in the first. Exit stage left, a 3-run bomb. Donaldson still got some pop in that bat, his 12th of the year.
makes it 3-0 Crew. Tyrone Taylor having himself a night. He scorches this one to left, just gets over the wall for a solo shot. That makes it 4-1 Milwaukee. And then in the 9th, Taylor at the dish again. And this one goes just a little bit further. Taylor gets all of this one, his 2nd homer of the night, 9th on the season. Brewers win their 2nd straight over St. Louis, 8-2. Let's go here. Twins looking to make it 2 out of 3 in Cincy. Minnesota down a run in the 9th, but Kyle Farmer comes up with a big base hit to right. Twins tie the game at 3, and here comes some insurance. Jorge Polanco is going to line this one the other way. Farmer comes in to score. Christian Vasquez right behind him. 2-run single for Polanco puts the Twins up 5-3, and that is your final. Twins' magic number to clinch the AL Central is now down to just 1. So the Twins are off tomorrow.
Okay.
So they can actually theoretically clinch on their couches. Get to just have a couple beverages, watch the Guardians hopefully lose for their sake.
Yeah, not too shabby.
Clinch the division, yeah.
Feels like just yesterday we were talking about like how tightly contested the AL Central was. Like it was everybody, other than the White Sox and the Royals, of course, at the time, but it was anyone's race, really.
Yep.
And so to see what the Twins have been doing, I think they've been on a tear with like home runs in the last month too. Like the Bomba squad essentially back as past years.
Yeah, they've been great. And I mean, going back to the Brewers real quick, if you can get Josh Donaldson hot, I mean, it seems to be a new guy coming up. Tyrone Taylor's been hot too.
For sure.
I mean, the team is just kind of firing on all cylinders. You hope that this lasts and they don't maybe peak too early because you want to kind of save this run for the postseason. You're going to see the Braves. You know, there are a lot of good teams in the NL, but I mean, if they can get these guys that we didn't really know. I mean, Josh Donaldson, I didn't even know was on the team up until last week.
Yeah.
If they can come through, it can be good.
It's one of those things where it's like that veteran signing that kind of goes under the radar, especially with like football season. I think you can all feel this at home.
Yeah.
Like we all get wrapped up in the NFL starting.
Sure.
But a move like signing Josh Donaldson to a minor league deal with like an incentive to get back up.
Yeah.
Goes on a tear after struggling mightily in New York, where the Yankees were just done with him.
Yeah.
It's almost like in 2011, Brewers fans, Jerry Hairston Jr. brought in like a super utility guy,
100%.
veteran presence, clutch hitting. And it's like, you just hope that kind of magic is with Donaldson.
New York is just doing it. I mean, Mark Hanna, we gave you guys Mark Hanna.
You're giving us such a favor.
Unbelievable.
Countless favors.
I think they just, I mean, it's a more peaceful environment. Sometimes you just need a change of scenery.
Makes a difference.
You know? It does. It sure does.
All right. Great. All-encompassing sports segment.
I love it, man.
Rob Schiff is the man. Rob, thanks very much.
You got it.
We got more news right after this.
This week's Hy-Vee hot deals are fresh Hy-Vee chicken breast, just $1.88 a pound. Jack's Pizza, just $2.77. And Hy-Vee chili style or kidney beans, 2 for just 98 cents. Only at Hy-Vee.
Come and get the very best windows and doors at the lowest price during the Fall Home Show, only at the Board Store. Always your home for high quality at lower prices. We bring you superior products installed by our exceptional team of carpenters, plumbers, and electricians. Visit or call during our Fall Home Show for added savings on replacement windows, patio doors, entry doors, and all your home improvements. Visit us, call us, connect online for the best windows and doors at the lowest price. The Fall Home Show, only at the Board Store Home Improvements. Don't miss it.
It's the biggest event in King Furniture's history, a complete and total liquidation of all in-stock items in our stores. Shop over $2 million of quality name brand furniture priced for immediate liquidation. This will be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to save as never before on living room, dining room, bedroom furniture, and more. When each and every piece of furniture has been sold, King Furniture will shut down for 30 to 60 days for a complete and total renovation. Don't miss the King Furniture Total Liquidation Sale going on now.
At Bagnevsky Heating and Air Conditioning, we know the Cooley region's weather is unpredictable. 40 degrees today, 75 tomorrow. Is your HVAC system fully prepared to effectively handle the stresses of the next season? Beat the inevitable rush and schedule your HVAC clean and check today. Be confident your air conditioning unit and furnace will work when you need it. Call Bagnevsky Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted trained comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train.
Your trained comfort specialist, Bagnevsky.
Start your adventure and get in a new Jeep at Pischke Motors La Crosse.
Or Pischke Motors, West Salem.
Stop in now during the Jeep Adventure Day sales event. You'll save over 10% off MSRP on a 2023 Jeep Renegade, a 2023 Jeep Compass, or a 2023 Jeep Gladiator. These Jeeps are ready for your next adventure. Pure comfort and functionality at your fingertips with the power and confidence you know Jeep provides. Stop in now because this offer ends October 2nd.
Start your search at Pischke.com
and drive away in your new Jeep.
This week's Hy-Vee hot deals are 6-pack Pepsi products, just $2.99 each when you buy 4. Cheez-It crackers, just $2.48. And Colorado peaches, just $1.88 a pound. Only at Hy-Vee.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
The hunt is on. 3 clues for the Oktoberfest medallion hunt have been released, and some people think they know where to look. Today's clue mentioned a park that was renamed to honor a prominent fur trader. That's most likely Nathan Myrick, who arrived in La Crosse in 1841. We were able to touch base with some medallion hunters over in Myrick Park today who shared why they're participating.
The fun is in the hunt. It's period. That's all it's about, is having fun looking for something.
It's fun to break down the clues and kind of learn the history of La Crosse as we're searching.
It would be really cool to find it, so that's like the major part of it.
There are still 7 clues left, so if you haven't found the medallion, there is still time. Clues are posted on the Oktoberfest website and Facebook page. We'll also share those clues on our website. A local home improvement store is getting national recognition. Since 1972, the Board Store Home Improvements has served the La Crosse community, and now owner Miles Wilkins is receiving a Legends of the Home Improvement Industry Award at the Growth Mastery Summit. This award given to people that have made significant contributions to the industry for a long time. Wilkins says the success of the store comes from a few different facets.
I think it's about the experience. People often forget about the products shortly after they get them, but if they have a good experience, then they come back to the same place. And I think that's what's caused our growth, quite frankly.
Wilkins says over half of their annual revenue comes from returning customers and referrals. We'll be right back after this.
See the stories you missed or watch them again on our YouTube page. Or find us at news8000.com.
Experienced sales consultants are good listeners who sell people what they need, not what's on sale. They're easy to work with and value a trusting relationship. We know team members with these life skills earn lifelong customers. Dahl Auto, simple.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's 68th anniversary, and we're celebrating in a big way with exciting new and innovative products throughout the store at unbeatable anniversary prices. Like $5 off new Squishmallows pet beds, 5 quarts of Valvoline full synthetic motor oil, just $22.99 after sale and rebate. Plus, get $100 in bundle savings on this 3rd generation Milwaukee Fuel Combo Kit when you buy a qualifying accessory. Come celebrate and save during Blaine's Farm and Fleet's 68th anniversary sale going on now.
Scouting has helped them build confidence through problem solving, learning to cook over a fire, building a tent in areas that they don't always get exposed to.
It's not competitive. It really helps develop your son or daughter into a great human being.
This is a great opportunity for your child to get to know the outdoors, and there's so much that outside and nature can provide for our children, and having these experiences is what Scouting is all about.
Powerhouse Marine is your boating headquarters for new and used boats, motors, and marine products. Repower your boat with select Yamaha outboards. Experience legendary Yamaha reliability with superior power, performance, and efficiency. Now let's check out our large in-stock selection in the Powerhouse showroom and discover Bennington boats powered by Yamaha. Bennington gives you trend-setting design and rock-steady construction. Better boat, better value, better warranty, period. It's your money. Why pay more and get less? Free winter storage with the purchase of any new boat purchased by October 31st. Stop by today or visit us online at powerhousemarine.com. Powerhouse Marine La Crosse.
It's time for Jolivet Family Farms Fall Harvest. There's no substitute for homegrown freshness. Stop by today for some of Jolivet's homegrown raspberries, squash, crowd cabbage, popcorn, and large selection of apples. Hardy Mums are now in bloom and available at Jolivet's. Find distinctive crafts and decor, Wisconsin wines, take home some apple crisp, apple pies, caramel apples, and apple cider donuts from our homemade bakery. Buy fresh, buy local. Open daily year-round. Jolivet Family Farms, West Salem.
In every department at Dahl Auto, you'll find people who've been in the industry for decades. In over 100 years at Dahl Auto, we've learned to value experience. After working with our team, you'll value our experience too. Dahl Auto, simple.
Folks, I'm clearly not Bill Grahl. I don't really know that much about meteorology. What I do know is that 83 at the end of September is great for this area. I was here last year. I don't think it was that high last year. 83, upper 70s is good for this time of year. Enjoy it while you have it. It's going to get bad pretty soon. And when I say bad, I mean cold, snow, things I don't really enjoy. So enjoy.